We got a new fucking microphone back. It's not the same one, but we got some people that helped us out. We're back. Stevie got ahead in episode 22, baby. It's the all day, everyday show.
Stevie's got ahead. We got our heads back on. We got a mic.
With all day AJ.
It's gracious. We are back.
And Manny Ruffin.
We are back.
Partnered with Vendetta Sports Media. Presented by Monkey Knife Fight. If you want to play Monkey Knife Fight, head over to monkeyknifefight.com and deposit using code Vendetta, all capitals. They will match your deposit up to $100 and up to 100%. So if you want to be ballsy and you want to put in all $100, they will match that and you'll have $200 to play with. We're going to have some fun with it. We can't wait till they get that in Pennsylvania. We can start playing and doing some more or less. Christian Issue, actually, at Vendetta has been doing making a lot of picks on the more or less tab there, and he's been pretty successful. So we want to do some of those things when it's actually legal in our state. So check if it's legal and always play responsibly. Okay, we're gonna have some fun today.
What's going on, brother?
Good to see you, dude. We're Team Red today. I meant to say that at the beginning. We're Team Red. You know. The champ shirt's fire, dude. Let me see that. Is that some thick? Is that the thickie?
Yeah, thick material, man.
Thick thing? Is that like a nice little patch on there? We like that.
Keeps you cozy.
And you got the logo on the side too.
Yeah.
And then it's Team Phillies hat. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to the game on Thursday against the Marlins.
Are you?
My dad was like, he texted me like 2 days ago. He's like, I got 6 tickets if you want to go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll go and watch the baseball game. And I'll make a same game parlay and figure it out from there. You know?
The Phillies are doing all right. How are your Yanks doing?
Well, speaking of Yankees, Christian, I'll let you say what's going on next week. So you said speaking of the Yankees, so go ahead, give us your boys and tell us what's good for next week.
Yeah, next week we're gonna have some good guests coming on. Friends of mine, actually, kids I've grown up with my whole life. They have started a podcast, Four Trained Savages, Yankees dominated podcast, of course.
Hell yeah.
We're happy to have them on. We're gonna talk some baseball, coming up on the All-Star break, so we'll do a little bit of All-Star break breakdown, maybe some trade deadline talks. It's going to be a great episode.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's perfect timing for everything that's going on because All-Star break's here, and then, we just get to talk about the Yankees' struggles and scoring 11 runs last night, most scored this season. Somehow that's the most they've scored. It only took fucking half the season, but okay, whatever. Yeah, so today we're going to do a little bit on the PGA Tour from Travelers Championship from last weekend, Harris English, 8-hole playoff. We'll get into that. We'll get into a London better that, I'm not going to say too much until I talk about it, but it won a shitload of money. And then we're going to Manny's going to take us through Chauncey Billups and the Blazers, what that means for Dame time, figure that out from there. The Stanley Cup Final is underway. Game 2 is tonight. Alex Killorn is actually out. That was right before we started recording. Alex Killorn is out with an undisclosed injury. I saw that on the NHL app. So we'll see what that means for Game 2 in Tampa tonight. And then we're gonna just do a little bit of stuff on the conference finals. Giannis going down last night. Trey missing the game. That kind of stuff. And then we'll see if the Clippers can force a Game 7. So that's the plans for today. We're gonna have a guest next week. We're reaching out to a lot of people about getting guests lined up for the future. We had a great episode last week. We appreciate all you guys for tuning in. That was our most amount of views, the amount of love and support that we got, the DMs, everything. We appreciate that. It's only just making us want to drive more and motivate us more to keep doing this every single day. So I don't know. It's crazy. So, I mean, to go from a jump of 200 views, 250 views, and then, we're right around the 1,300 view mark on that. So, El Capitan, you're just the man. I mean, obviously, he was saying to me before, he was like, thank you for the opportunity. What do you mean, bro? Like, you helped us just as much. So, but it's crazy. I mean, just the love and everything like that. So we just want to keep pushing that. I know, I do want to say this. Tea Party was delayed this week. We had some technical issues with Tyler, but it's going to get up there. And we're changing the fucking dynamic of the show. I want to say that too. Not this one, Tea Party, okay? The Tea Party dynamic is going to be...
He's back with his Tea Party plugs.
Yes, I'm back with my Tea Party plugs. We're changing the dynamic of Tea Party. We're going to start doing more match play, 6-hole matches, 6-hole scrambles, all this and that. So we want to do a little bit more of that versus just going out and playing 18 holes and just cutting around of random shots. So that's the plan for that. But be on the lookout for episode 5. We were in a simulator, and Manny was getting a lesson. So
It was ass.
yeah,
Ass.
it's okay.
Well, it wasn't ass. It was a great time. I was just ass. Let me just say that.
We just
It was
need to get
cool.
this man
It
longer
was
clubs.
cool as
That's
hell.
all.
I felt
That's
like-
all
I
it
felt like I
is.
was in a spaceship, but besides that, I was watching the Phils. I was hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was a good time.
Dude, I will say, don't get me wrong. The mic from last week was awesome. Like, it's not a bad mic.
yeah.
It's not a bad mic. It's a $250 Blue Yeti Pro. You can plug it into your USB on your computer, or you can do it into a soundboard like this. That's why it's the Pro. But then when I hear your voice now back on that mic, and with this mic activator, this cloud lifter, bro, it's so much better.
Right.
So much better.
They're not paying us.
Yeah, no, they're not paying us at all, because we actually are you're gonna have to fucking pay them to get the other one repaired. This is not our mic. This is not the one that Manny has. This is from a friend that was
Something's
generous enough to
telling me
give
that
it to
my
us for
mic
this
is not
episode.
broken, bro. There's no way that mic is broken. We literally didn't touch it.
No, we didn't touch it. It's a fucking joke.
It's all right.
But that's all right. Let's
We
get
move.
into we move. We digress, as you said last week. Oh, I do want to say this. Before I get into Harris English and the putt and the money and the this and the that. I was kind of trying to keep that going because I like the articulation
I'm
there.
listening.
You're listening? Okay. Last week there was a clip that you said, and you were like, it was about Patrick Beverly, how he's dancing around. Right. A lot of people kind of like that. Did you see what he did?
What are you referencing? I fuck with it. I like the antics.
That's what he did.
That's what he did.
That's what he did.
I like the antics.
That's what he did.
I
was like, I saw that, and I was like, you know what? I gotta say something to him. Hopefully, I didn't block out the camera too much so I
Pat-
could see that. But bro, that's what he did. He said he
Pat Bev, if you see, we are a fan. We are a fan. of
You're
the
just a
antics.
douchebag sometimes.
We love it. I love it. I can't speak for the masses. I personally love Pat Bev. I love the nappy hair. I love the
Nappy.
I love the photoshops of him with the black Air Force Ones on. I'm a Pat Bev guy.
Do you see him at the end of the game, and he's sitting on the bench, and all the fans are booing him, and he's like, I love it.
I love it. That gives me energy. That gives me energy. I love it. I love it.
I just had to say that because you did him, and somebody was like, I think it was like TikTok comments. They were like, I want to see the defensive pose again or something. And he's like, what are you doing? So,
all right, well, we have a podcast.
yes, we have a podcast.
We
So
have a
stop
podcast
dicking
to do.
around, Alex.
We have
Pay
a
the fuck attention.
We do have a podcast to do that.
Okay, Harris English, 8-hole playoff. I do want to start out by saying
Yeah,
this.
run me through this whole how much million?
It was a London better, and you can help me out here, Christian, too.
900 to what odds?
So it was 90,396 odds on this bet. It was a 6-leg parlay. He bet $15.50 on the bet. He had, he bet on one of the legs was like Steve Stricker to win his senior championship. He had 2 soccer games on there, like plus 140 and minus 160. He had an LPGA tour win.
Let's be honest.
Just
how many dirty Shirleys deep do you have to be in to put a bet in that, bro? What low key Irish pub was he at with 2 of his boys on the Tuesday night? He was like, I have it. I have the ticket. I don't understand how you come up with some shit like that, bro.
and the other part about it too is I think Steve Stricker was plus 500 on the odds, and then the LPGA tour was plus 1,400. Yeah, crazy. And then you get
Harris English was
3,500. Crazy.
Just imagine watching that, like the playoff. Like I couldn't just see.
Well, so that's really what I wanted to say about it. Is like I knew
the putt go in.
I knew somebody that bet $30 on him to win, and it was like it would pay like $1,200, $1,100, $1,200. And I was sitting there like, damn, if I'm watching an 8-hole playoff, which is the longest.
I'm shitting my pants.
It's the longest playoff in 9 years, and
draws
it's
are stinking.
tied for the longest since 1945 in tour history. But besides that point, if I'm betting on that and I'm waiting, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I have a chance to win $1,100, $1,200, and you're like, we're now on 6, 7, we're now on the 8th.
You're talking about a $1,200, bro.
Talk about
He
sweating.
had $1 million on the line. What do you mean?
No, this is.
I'm just saying.
For his.
Had
yeah.
$1 million on the line. $1 million.
Smash the cash out for fuck's sake. I don't know if I would have stayed in. I don't know if I would have stayed in.
You're watching
But
a playoff for $1 million. That's a
this one's
gambler's
crazy,
dream.
too. It was 1 a.m. in London
Oh, yeah.
when that tournament ended.
Yep.
So this guy is freaking out, but he's freaking out at midnight, 11
Oh,
o'clock,
yeah,
and 1 a.m. He's
Bloody
freaking out.
hell.
Yeah, that's what he said, probably.
Bloody hell.
No, but I just think it's crazy because it's like, you talk about sweating. Like, remember when we had Kenny on and he's talking about his big win? He's like, I'm just going to keep my phone down, enjoy the night with the fiance. I don't want to sweat this out. I don't want to pay attention. Like, imagine this sweat. Like, and both of them, I mean, $30 wins $1,100, $1,200, and then $15.50 can win $1.36 million. I get that you had all the other
Do you
five
think
legs
he
in there,
watched
but-
the LPGA bet?
See, I keep doing that too. I don't
Do you
know.
think he watched that?
I probably
Like,
not.
Because it's like
Probably
one of those
not.
things, right? That ticket's crazy because, first of all, you started off with 2 soccer tickets. Like, if you put
Yeah,
in a
Croatia
bet,
was on
if you
there.
put in a bet for 2 soccer bets, 2 money lines, like those are hard as shit to hit.
Yeah.
Regardless, so he hit both those, and then like he has this.
And the soccer money line was plus 140. Like,
Exactly.
that's tough in soccer.
He has this. He has the senior PGA Championship ticket. A bet on
Steve
there.
Stricker there. You got LPGA, and then you
Bro.
have Harris English. Like, I love how the odds for his 3 golf picks, his odds went up. It went plus 500, plus 1,400, and then the big boy in the PGA Tour, 3,500. What the
don't-
hell?
I don't want to.
Who's picking that? I'm not a golf better. Like,
wherever you are, whoever put this bet in, we want you on this show, but that's one of those bets. Like, you don't do research for that bet.
no, you just
don't
you
do
pick.
research.
You
don't do
pick.
research for that bet.
He couldn't have picked the most random sports to just.
Nah,
bet on.
he
No, like, I
on.
think so. The guy that I knew that did his $30 bet on him, he was like, "Oh, I just was betting on all the Georgia guys."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but like, again, I'm not a PGA better. Like, I just
I'm not. I don't
that's
get
that's
involved in
hard.
that
That's
shit.
hard as hell. Like, it really is.
I feel like I'm playing the lottery when I do that.
No, exactly. It's harder than going, Bucks minus 9.5
Bro,
last night, but get blown out.
$1.3 million. How much do you think he cleared though? That's the thing.
Yeah,
Cleared
fact.
probably
With the tax and everything.
$900K.
Yeah, and then but that's
He's getting-
also in U.S.
he's literally
dollars
getting-
too. So what's the
They're
conversion?
probably
doing?
he's
That's
chained
true.
down, getting screwed on taxes on that. Like the IRS saw that hit and they're like, yes. Like, you know what I mean? Like good for him, but I hope he cleared $1 million.
They're
They should
doing
just let
the
him- they should just let him get $1 million.
you know what they the I think it's Ed and Eddie, the Sixers foul shot. This is what the IRS they said.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He needs
That's what they said. Excellent.
I just cut him at least give him like the $1.3 million check so he can frame it and then screw him on
Oh yeah.
taxes.
Oh yeah.
But like, that's just wild, bro. Like, what do you do?
No, like,
What do you do after that? Do you go back to work?
well,
Fuck no, you retire.
do you
Game over.
retire and you invest? What did we learn from El
That's what-
Capitan?
That's what
did he say?
everyone-
I'm
you
in
know what?
crypto. He
You-
said he's in
you know what?
crypto.
Like,
Invest.
listen, everyone wants to say that's what I would do. That's what I would do. But I'm talking about the first, like, listen, Kenny.
Oh, he's probably at the club.
Kenny put the money away for the crib.
Yeah,
You
smart,
know,
but
El
you have to.
Capitan was. Listen, man. I hit a bet for $1 million. Yo, where you trying to go, bro? We out Dubai?
Bottle service.
Where
Bottle
you trying
service.
to
Yeah, no,
Where
we're
you
gonna
go?
go. Right, we're gonna go. We'll go away for a week. You know, come on, bro. We gotta be
Nah,
smart.
yeah, we gotta be smart. I'm gonna go. Like, let me sit in this for a second. Let me just sit in it.
Yeah,
Let me just sit in
let me sit in my tub of cash.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, 21 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Public service announcement. We're actually going to be taking 3 weeks off from the podcast because we're heading over to Dubai with our 900K.
No,
That's what we're doing.
we'll do the podcast. We'll record.
We'll do the podcast in Dubai.
We're recording all white in Greece next to on the waterfront.
We'll call Giannis. He'll get on there.
And then free promo.
soon, too
Why?
soon.
How are they? In Greece? Free promo. How are you guys in Greece? Oh well, actually, I hit this bet. I'm actually selling my my package right now for $997 a month. Imagine.
Yo, that's what he said everybody does. That's what he said
that's
everybody
what- that's
does.
what he
And
just
that's
said.
facts. And that's
And
fucking facts.
And they Photoshop shit too.
And they take other picks and they say, "Oh, I did this pick. This is what somebody in my, in my channel did. I'm raising the price or whatever."
But bro, like an 8-hole, like
8-hole playoff.
The putts-
That's more shocking to me.
The putts in that playoff were like
Unreal.
excellent too. It's not
Unreal.
like it wasn't no like going shot for shot. Like there's a couple times you think like it's won by one guy and then it's
Yeah.
like
No, I just think it's crazy that it went that long.
was it better than the Rom DJ playoff and the Players Championship?
See, I think I'm gonna go with this one
Because that
just because of
listen,
the suspense and the longevity of it.
the shots, in
Right.
that, the shots and the stakes.
But we didn't get to talk about Rom in the
yeah.
in the open, because those putts were nasty too. But we're talking about putting, right? I had to say that.
Yeah.
But no, I think I have to go with this one just because of the longevity, the suspense, everybody's sweating it out. Like 8 holes. They played. What's the math on that? 26 holes that day?
Bro, I think
of competitive golf
teed off at like 1 p.m.
Bro.
I think he teed off at 1 p.m. and he didn't end till like 8:30.
How do you just mentally because we play golf. Like staying mentally locked in when you got all those eyes on you and the cameras and you're trying to win and everything like that.
Bro.
How do you stay mentally locked in for 8 more holes than what you were supposed to complete?
Good for Harry.
You know what I mean?
But think about the guy that goes out there with Harry at 1 o'clock. Because he probably, the fan was probably out there at 10 o'clock? He's probably pregame and he's getting hammered.
Oh, yeah.
They're watching it for 8 hours. If you're drinking at 11 o'clock and the playoff is still going on at 6 o'clock, you're like, I got to keep drinking. I'm getting
right.
There's probably dudes in that stand like 12.
I had friends leave because it was going on
left.
too long. Yeah, dude, that course is 45 minutes away from my house. I've been there before.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because it wasn't a CT.
There's probably dudes on that last playoff hole sloppy, drinking all day.
I had friends who had to leave because it was just too hot and too much drinking. It was just like this shit went on for way too long.
Too hot, too much drinking. There's probably a lot of weird shit that happens during that time period. Remember the dude that fucking hopped on Phil Milkison?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just as we transition here to Chauncey Billups and the Blazers. I do want to say this about the giveaway. The giveaway is officially done. Mike Pagliaro has his coldest water bottle. Seamus Scanlon and Lolo both got their gift cards.
Oh, I think I owe you $12.
Okay, love that. Nice. But this is real deal. This is money out of our pockets. We were doing this for you guys. Now that's officially done. We don't have to talk about it again until we do another giveaway, which has already been in the works. And no, we're not doing that for fucking followers. We're doing that to give it back to you.
We'll see. We'll see in the future.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're not going to just rip out giveaways every fucking month because we don't have the bankroll like that unless you're following, Kenny and Jerry and El Capitan and you want to build your bankroll, then, let's plug them every time.
No cap.
No cap.
Bro, there's some shit brewing in Portland.
Yeah, bro. Go ahead. Tell me.
Well,
Dame time. Oh wait. Let's start with 1997.
No.
Let's start with those alligators. You don't want to start there?
No. See, that's how they always.
But that's the headlines.
They always want to start by tearing the man down.
I know, but that's the headlines.
You can't tear down the building before it's built. Let me build the fucking building first.
That's true. It's not. It's not.
And if you want to tear it down, you can tear it down. But goddamn.
It was like last week when I came out hot with the question.
The man's a 2004 Finals MVP, man. He's a handsome, bald black man. Can I build him up for a second?
Go ahead. Build him up.
Thank you.
He's a handsome.
Thank you.
He's a handsome man.
Thank you. Chauncey Billups. I fuck with you.
I like the beard.
But nah, so the Blazers, man, they fired Terry Stotts after 9 years. Unfortunate situations. I mean, they get tired of the same old. I mean, they made the playoffs 8 years in a row, but make it to the Western Conference Finals one time in 8 years with Dame and CJ, you gotta start raising some questions. So they interviewed Chauncey Billups, Becky Hammon, Mike D'Antoni.
I thought D'Antoni was gonna get that job.
mean,
I'm not kidding.
And they went with Chauncey. The thing about Chauncey is, like, okay, you look him as a player, the point guard he was, and the floor general, and the big time player, and he's cool in the big moments. Everything you look for out of a coach, right? But 1 year experience. And then you say, okay, well, it's 1 year of experience as an assistant coach with the Clippers, and they're doing what they're doing, and everyone wants to give credit to Ty Lue, right? But it's the whole staff so okay.
Ty Lue is getting a lot of credit though.
But see, here's where people have a problem with it. No, not even. No. I'm gonna backtrack even farther. Dame said openly that he wants Jason Kidd or Billups to be his coach. Okay, well, Jason Kidd takes the Mavericks jobs, and then it's like all the way on Chauncey, right? This is all gonna add up, right? So they hired Chauncey. Mind you, remember Becky Hammon was interviewed for the job.
Yeah.
So people start backlash because the headlines come out about Chauncey from '97 about the rape, sexual assault charges and all that.
Oh, yeah,
Gotta watch that word I said because of YouTube. Holy shit! But
sorry, YouTube.
Sorry,
YouTube, don't demonetize.
My bad. But nah, so those headlines come out, and people are coming at Dame, like, on the socials and all that, like, you caused this, you said you wanted Chauncey, and then he did this in the past. And they're saying, well, they had Becky Hammon. So now there's like backlash going to the Trailblazers front office because, like, damn, so you had this girl who won 6 WNBA championships. She was behind Greg Popovich. She's getting so much praise, and then you hire a dude that has sexual assault allegations, and he got, like, I forget what it's called. It's a civil something where it's like, it's basically the trial's over you're not guilty or not guilty, but they just end the trial. So it's just like, this looks shady as fuck.
Yeah, because it's almost like he paid her off, right?
They
Exactly.
just dropped the case. Yeah.
This looks really shady. But at the same time, it's like maybe they dropped the case because of who Chauncey was at the time. He was just a rookie in the league, but you never know. And back then, times were different. But it looks really shady on their part. Obviously, I can see why people have problems with it. I seen an article where there was a whole thing that just bashing the Trailblazers front office for doing this, and it's like, this looks messy, man. So then it raises the question: is Dame out? Does Dame dip?
Does he?
I mean, he asked.
Coming to your Knicks,
I know. I hope so.
He essentially asked for Chauncey, got backlash from getting Chauncey, and it's like, look what I built for y'all, and then I get y'all a coach, not a bad coach, but because of one headline, now y'all coming at me again after what I've done for y'all for the last 8 years in a row. Like, I might dip too, personally.
Well, I saw this thing about, because he's. I mean, I think there's. I don't know. This is my personal opinion. I think there's more of a chance that he leaves than that he stays. And I saw this tweet about like the Knicks, because I would love to have a dude like that can run the floor for the Knicks. That's what they need. They need a guy to run the floor.
The Knicks.
Relax. This is where I'm seeing,
okay.
About headline stuff.
Just like, okay.
Shut up. And one of the, I forget where I saw it, but it was Knicks giveaway. Now don't react yet. It was Knicks giveaway. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Mitchell Robinson. And they gave like 2 picks or something, and then like for Dame. And I'm like, there's no way in hell that I'm giving away those 3 guys. Not happening. For Dame?
I don't think, yeah.
No, bro. So that if that's really what it's gonna take, if that's really what teams are gonna have to go and give up, then he's gonna stay. Because no one's gonna give that much up.
That's like an unfortunate rise of that's an unfortunate fall to a rising empire, bro. I feel like it's like a movie. Like, you just have Dame, like, he's building up over the years, and the last
superhero.
8 years, they make the Western Conference Finals once, and they're winning series.
Once upon a time,
shots, and they have their duo, and then they sign a coach that has these allegations to his name, and it's like rough because he had a girlfriend at the time. They're trying to say he did something with a girl, with Anton Walker and someone else, and it's just it sounds rough, but you never know. These guys are fucking crazy out here. I don't know Chauncey. I don't know him personally. I like him, but I can't speak on what he did, and it just sucks because it's like, is this the downfall of your franchise for the next like 15 years? Like, are you guys gonna go into complete rebuild mode because you're gonna lose your star? CJ looks like he can't get a package of peanuts for CJ the way you played the last playoffs. I mean, shit. Is this over because you signed the wrong coach? Is this why oh my god, it's just hideous. I mean, and then
I think it's good for basketball.
Good for basketball.
I like when past players are hired.
No, 100%. I like it for basketball, 100%. I'm just saying their franchise, like, with everything going on nowadays and like what he has to his name, it's like,
because like the implosion is starting.
It's like a game of Jenga, man. You just keep pulling the
game of Jenga,
and it's just falling. It's just slowly falling. But I don't know. I think Dame needs to get out regardless, because this topic is towards Dame's future, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's my guy. I mean, that's my favorite player in the league.
Not Ben Simmons.
Nah, Ben.
We're done. We talked about it last week. We're done.
Don't make him walk out again.
So anyway, back to Dame. So I think, I mean, he's given everything he can to that team, that city. Like, he got drafted there, obviously, and I know he had aspirations to really build something there and give him a championship back to Portland. But it's like, dude, sometimes there's just some things you can't control in business. That, I mean, you're getting the money you want. You have your duo, but you don't have the supporting cast you want. Maybe your coach is this, that. There's like, you might be best to get out and get your rings and move on. I mean, and no one's gonna hate you, Dame. No one's gonna hate you for it. I think the Sixers are a good look for him, and that's not even me being a homer. We just have stuff to offer. We have young players, picks, a young star, all-star we could give him named Ben Simmons that I wouldn't mind shipping off to Portland,
right?
For some other, I don't know, but I don't. To answer your question about Dame's future. With everything going on in Portland, with not being able to win anything lately, the last 8 years, Chauncey's stigma around his name right now and everything going on, I think Dame's out, personally. I'd like to hear what you guys say about that, though.
I was going to say that...
What keeps him?
No, I was going to say, that's why I was literally saying I think there's more of a chance that he leaves. But the problem is, you would, like, just basing off of that whole Knicks thing, like, I already know they're going to have to give up everything and then some just to get him. So your point about the Sixers, I think the Sixers.
No,
that's what I mean. Like, you put Ben Simmons in that package. I think that goodbye. I think though you probably have to get rid of Maxey
we keep Maxey, Ben, Shake,
or Shake, exactly.
Couple picks.
You know, so I think it's really possible for the Sixers because they have those weapons, and who knows, maybe it's the Philadelphia curse, and then when a player of good caliber from Philadelphia leaves and goes to another team, they always shine. That's just what happens in the city of Philadelphia for sports teams. Literally, it always happens. When a guy leaves, the only time that I will say that didn't happen, and I might have said this a long time ago, 6 or 7 episodes, I would say Shane Victorino when he went to the Red Sox, because it was just irrelevant, obviously. But plenty of guys have been so good when they left. Oh yeah,
plenty of guys have been shit when they left too.
That's fair, but I feel like it's more times than not.
The fuck was Donovan McNabb when he left Philly?
But right. But let's go to the Flyers, for instance, when Coach Peter Laviolette leaves the Flyers next season, wins it with the Predators. There's like shit like that when people leave from these organizations. So I could totally see Ben Simmons going, and if they do get Dame, they'd win. And let's give a little tribute here to Mark Zoo for his career and everything.
That hurt my heart.
I think I was talking about it with my mom last night, and I was like, I guess he's quitting on the team too because they're not close enough to winning.
Relax.
And she goes, and I was kind of messing around, but she was like, no, Alex, I think it's that he said he wants to spend more time with his wife and his family and everything like that, which obviously
up there in age,
obviously makes sense. It's different because the thing that she had said back to me was like, well, it's different when, you just don't see guys doing it for only 30 years, right? Quote unquote, only 30. You guys see for 50 and 49, right? But just, his voice is just memorable to this Philadelphia 76ers in the city and everything like that. I didn't really think about that, but now that we kind of touched on that, I did want to mention that I saw a little bit of the Phillies last night and in the pregame stuff. And, Kruk and McCarthy are wearing their shirts, and it's got his face on there, and it's a red shirt. So a good tribute to him. I didn't think he was going to go. I thought he was going to wait it out. And I was joking about that because I was literally sitting here thinking like, well, I guess he knows the struggles that Ben Simmons has to go through and everything like that. I guess he's just getting out so he doesn't have to deal with it for another 3 years, and then they won't get it. But if they were to get Dame, as we work our way back to Dame, if they were to get Dame, then I don't see how they're not, Eastern Conference Final contenders.
Do you think Game 6 versus the Nuggets was the final straw for Dame? That 59 piece, he had all the threes. He had 12 points in OT, and the rest of the
one of the dirtiest games ever.
Went like 1 for 12. I think that was the final.
He hit the overtime shot, right? He had two buzzer beaters. I mean, how many times have we said it on this show talking about NBA playoffs?
I think when he threw that ball to CJ and CJ stepped out of bounds, he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Well, how about we're talking about guys that need help? I feel like we've said that so many times. Guys that need help in the NBA playoffs. We're talking about Joker. He's doing everything. Well, obviously Murray's not there, right? But needs right. But he needed help. He needed help in these playoffs. Yep. Needed help, and then
JoJo needed help.
I was gonna say that as well. I didn't want to get too pressed on that, but I do think Embiid needed help. Sure, he was not a fourth quarter star, but when you're playing all those minutes and you get late in the game, another guy needed help.
JoJo had help, but Tobias Harris just went ghost in fourth quarters for the biggest games of the year.
And it's like everybody else. It was just him and Seth and Seth.
I definitely feel you.
And then you go with you look at Dame time too as well. Help, please. So it just what comes around goes around. We're gonna get into the conference finals. In just a moment. I do want to touch on the Stanley Cup final and a little bit on these playoffs. Haven't talked too much hockey yet on the show, but I want to show that we are versatile. We were going to do a little bit of some soccer today because Manny's big on the soccer. He's big on the Euro stuff. He's been religiously watching Euro. I'm not a soccer guy. I mean, I like watching it, but, I'm not, I can't, I don't know. I'll see on his Snapchat stories and his Instagram stories, 9 a.m. on Sundays before NFL Sunday kicks off at 1. He's watching the English Premier League.
That's why it's awesome when the Prem and the NFL are together, bro.
Right, because you get 9 a.m. Premier League, and then you get Fox NFL Sunday with the boys comes on at
But
noon.
where do you want to go, bro? You brought up three different topics. So where the fuck?
Sorry. I was saying I was talking to you about going to soccer because I wanted to show that we are versatile.
Okay.
And we haven't talked hockey on the show
Okay.
No, we did it back in the day.
No, we did. Yeah, we did.
Back in the day.
Put up some hockey a couple times.
Yeah, I mean I'm saying back in the day because that was back when I was doing
Zoom.
back on Zoom 1. I'm in the damn, studio closet thing, whatever. So, Tampa Bay Lightning, Montreal Canadiens, game 1 is over. Game 2 is tonight. You guys will probably see this Saturday or Sunday, so hopefully you're enjoying your July 4th weekend. But with everything that's going on in these playoffs, I don't think enough light is being shown on the NHL, and it's more on, NBA, all these injuries, whatever, this and that. Personally, I think these playoffs are crazy. The Canadiens should not be here. Down 3-1 to the Maple Leafs.
First year in the conference.
A different conference, right? Because normally they wouldn't even be there,
Exactly.
right? They wouldn't be there.
That's what I mean.
But I said this.
Like they should have to go through the Lightning to get.
I said this on Trey's show, That's Some Cheese. I was like, I bet you after each win or after each series win, they're in the locker room. Yeah, we weren't. Normal circumstances, we wouldn't be here, but everything happens for a reason, so why not us?
No.
Literally, they're probably saying that every time because we made it here. A major sell from Vegas, unbelievable. But I think there's no chance, zero chance, and I was saying it.
I say because it doesn't necessarily going to the Western Conference doesn't make it any easier.
No, not at all.
I mean, the East was stacked this year, and if you add the Canadians, not stacked, but it was good. And if you add the Canadians in there, then you could argue that it's stacked. But the West isn't.
No.
I mean?
And I will say this though, I do think that there's no reason that the Lightning don't repeat. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, if they repeat and they go again, when was the last time that happened? And I think it was Pittsburgh Penguins 2016.
Pittsburgh,
In 2016, when they repeated. So I think this is gonna happen. I've been rooting for it. I want to see the Lightning win. I have family down in Tampa, so they got me I should have worn it today, but I got a Tampa Bay Lightning 47 brand shirt, and I was like, I don't want to wear it because then like everybody, you got your New York thing here. You're a bandwagon. I'm just rooting for them, guys. My team's out, and they're a fun team to watch.
What's the deal with my boy Kucherov? Good?
Okay, so that was fucked up. That's the other thing I want to talk about with that game too. Shit got so dirty at the end of the game.
Crazy, right?
They're slashing back of the legs. They're slashing the calves. And if you saw the play when he went down, he's not wearing the shin pads.
Bro,
do not go around your calf.
My fault. I didn't even think about this dynamic though, because they're rivals. Like they're like actual like interconference rivals. But they're playing in the Stanley Cup Finals.
And they're in the final. Like
I didn't even think about that dynamic.
I just love seeing a packed house. Like obviously we're seeing packed house. You're hearing the defense chants when you're at listening to the Suns and Clippers game. You're hearing the defense. You heard how loud it was at MSG. You heard how loud the well was, right? Mm-hmm. And now you see that down in Tampa, and you're like they got the full house. So we're slowly getting back, obviously, to everything, but seeing a packed NHL arena for the Stanley Cup final. I mean, I just don't think there's enough light that's shining on these playoffs. I have to give a lot of credit to Montreal. And honestly, if you're a big hockey fan, if you are, I wouldn't be surprised if you're sitting here rooting for Montreal. Original 6 team. Let's get them a Stanley Cup. They deserve this. They made it all the way here. But I don't know. I think Tampa's so dominant, and I went to a Tampa game 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Tampa and Philadelphia. I was just in Tampa at the time. We're like, let's just go catch a game. We go down there. We get into the stadium. We're watching the game, and this is when they were leading the league by a long shot. This is when they got swept by Columbus in the first round. But being in that stadium when the guys on the ice knew they were the best team in the league, and everybody in the arena knew they were the best team in the league, was just a crazy atmosphere to be a part of. So now just thinking how that stadium's rocking and rolling for these playoffs and then this Stanley Cup final, it's insane. I do want to say Adam Fox of the Rangers winning the Defensive Player of the Year. But Victor Hedman was a finalist. I thought he was going to beat him out there. I still think, personally, Adam Fox, you're a legend, dude. But, I mean, I think Hedman's just the best defenseman in the league. That's what I think. So, but I'm just happy to see how these playoffs roll out. Like I said in the beginning, Alex Killorn is out, undisclosed injury in Game 2. We probably will be, I think, 4 games in when we next record. Today's Wednesday? That's Game 2. Saturday, they're going to have to travel. So Saturday will probably be Game 3. So we'll probably be 4 games in when we next record next week. And we'll see what we're looking at.
I can see the Habs winning this series on some dramatic.
So I see this TikTok.
Go
I
down
think this is so dumb.
They're like a minus like 200. They're a plus 200 on every game. Like they go down like 2-0, 2-1, come back and win it in dramatic fashion. The Habs get a cup. Like I don't know.
I see these TikToks.
The Lightning won theirs last year. Like let's mix it up. Let's mix it up.
And it's like an NHL reposted this on their Instagram as well, and it was it's like a corgi that he's sitting at the top of these steps, and there's two like basketball hoop trash cans at the bottom of the steps. So the owner will throw him this beach ball and he'll use his nose and he'll hit it in, whatever. And it'll say, and it was Habs on the left and Lightning on the right. So it was like, the corgi has spoken, and he had what the dog had said was Habs in 6. And I'm like, I mean, if the Lightning find a way to lose this.
Listen, if there is a matchup, if there is a David and Goliath matchup, right, of two teams, one being an extra David and one being an extra Goliath and one being a David, I like the Canadians' chances just because they're a scrappy defensive-minded team. Like I forget what the stat was. Fuck. I was watching the Western Conference Finals, and there was a stat when they hold teams to one goal or less. I forget their record, but it was amazing, and they do it a lot. I could see the winning. It's a scrappy team, kind of young. They have vets in the right places. I love Brendan Gallagher. I love Suzuki.
Dude, he's such a player.
They're scrappy.
Gallagher's scrappy. Do you talk about scrappy? That's Gallagher for you.
That whole team, they have, great. Sherrod on defense. Like they got some guys and people in places. They have people that been there, done that. Vets. Got Carey Price and net. There's a team
right.
that could get away with stealing 4 games against the Lightning. It would be a scrappy defensive-minded team like the Canadians. I could see it happening.
I could see it
happening.
There's no way that the Canadians stop the Lightning on the power play.
Yeah,
there's just no way. You find you bink, 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 and then you find Stamkos on the left side with his classic one-timer, get down on his one knee, goes in every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm very, very excited for it. But I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. But I'm excited to see, hopefully, Tampa get another one. And that would be crazy, too, because the Buccaneers got one, and we get another parade. Maybe it's a boat parade. I kind of like the boat parades. I kind of like the boat parades.
When I was watching the Islanders and Lightning, I was thinking, like, damn, bro, Tampa really is on top right now. They got the Bucks, they got the Lightning, they got the Rays. Like, they're really doing their thing right now. Tampa's lit right now, man.
And that's why I'm like, they probably won't do a boat parade. It'll probably be the regular one. You know what I mean? Right. But I don't know, dude. I think I kind of fuck with the boat parades.
If they won, we might have to get you down to the parade, man. You're a little bit of a super fan for the Lightning, huh? You got a little bit.
Low key, bro.
A little bit of a hard on for the boys.
Low key, bro. Like they're just, it's crazy to see a team that's just so dominant and just so good. And Coach John Cooper was in. He was there in 2015 against the Blackhawks, and they lost. So this is their third appearance in the Stanley Cup Final in, what is that, 6-7 years? So it's crazy. So this team is just, I don't know. I don't want to compare them to another team from a different sport because they're dominant, but they're not like.
Were you gonna say the Warriors?
Yeah, but they're not that. Wow. No, but I
know what you mean. No,
I'm trying to find a comparison, but I was like, that's the first one that came to my mind, but like it's not right because they're not like that.
Remember the year they lost to Columbus? I'm pretty sure it was the same year that the Warriors lost to the Cavs, which is funny. If
I wanted to go to the Warriors talk, whatever.
Draw comparisons.
But all right, let's go to the last thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna touch a little bit on the conference finals. Giannis getting hurt last night. Trae Young did not play. We'll see.
This is
we'll
the one
see if
thing.
the Clippers can force a game 7. PG-13, putting it on his back.
You know what?
40-point P.
A lot of people were giving this man slack for saying it, but time and time again we see Ambassador LeBron James was right.
I got the quote.
Go ahead, say it.
The quote. The rest was not long enough. How many players have we seen go down in the playoffs? Now, granted, Giannis freak injury. Trae Young, bruised foot, he'll be all right. But everyone else, you see Kuz, LeBron, Joe, the list goes on. I'm missing people. Like I'm missing so many people. There's been so many injuries.
They didn't want to listen.
They didn't want to listen, and there's so many arguments you could draw here, right? It's like, okay, not enough of a rest. You're killing the game. You're killing. We want to see monster matchups. Donovan Mitchell, another big injury. We want to see these monster matchups with these monster players, and people are getting hurt. Right, correct. At the same time, we do want to say,
he says, right, correct.
It's a part of the game, bro. stay healthy, right? It's your job. It's a hard dichotomy like to really get into, but it's like, I mean, bro, we're professional athletes. We're playing 82 games. We're going pedal to the metal every game. We just came off a long, hard bubble. Like, it was a fucked up year.
Yeah.
How many days the rest of the get? Like a month and a half? That's not enough. That's not enough, bro. Like, in the injuries, you don't see them earlier on the season. So you're watching the season go along. People are like, oh, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. No one's getting hurt right now. Right now. A full grind on season. These teams are making.
These guys are freak athletes. It's like.
I see what you're saying, but
I'm not saying that.
I had to get off my.
Like, they're just grinders.
I had to get off my chest because
no shot I can do it.
Another year, Ambassador LeBron Raymond James is correct. That's I had to put it out there. But in other words,
down to the king.
So in case anybody hasn't realized that yet, we're big LeBron guys, and I don't give a shit about the fucking haters. Okay,
right?
We're LeBron guys.
We had to just point it out there. In other words, though, let's just scratch off. Let's just take pandemic P. Let's just throw it in the trash for now on.
Okay.
No more pandemic P. None of that. It's PG. Playoff P. I referenced them as Pastor P once.
40-point P now.
I think
40-point P.
I like playoff P better.
Playoff P. He's back.
Playoff P better.
I mean, oh my God, off the top of my head, I don't know if it's Todd if he broke the record for most 20-point games in a row in the playoffs, but it's like you can't slander the guy.
I saw the stat too.
I can't slander the guy.
Yeah.
He's been carrying. And low key, I was gonna say it'd be really cool, right? If they go down, like they're down in the series to the Suns and Kawhi's down and PG leads them to the promised land. Because if you see it, right, set up, if they come back versus the Suns, mind you, the Suns are a young team. CP has a history of choking teams he led in the past.
Let him get to his final, though. Let him get to his first one.
I'm just saying, how cool would it be? You see the Clippers come back and win led by PG.
Yeah.
You got the injury-ridden Bucks or Hawks waiting for you in the finals. I mean, they could do it. But I do see what you're saying. Let CP get his finals, give him his flowers. I'm a CP guy. So.
Give him his flowers.
But I don't know, man. I think
I need to see Book in that ring.
the hot and healthy teams are the ones that win and outlast in the playoffs. Suns are hotter and healthier than the Clippers, but you can see the tide kind of change in the series. So I'm interested to see what you guys got in this one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was streaming for Vendetta PGA 2K21. This was 2 days ago.
What the fuck does this have to do with the
You'll see.
Okay.
And I said on there, who do you guys got tonight? Who do you guys got tonight? Who do you guys got tonight? I love the Suns. I love the Suns. I'm going to go with the Suns. They got it. They're moving on. And I'm like, CP3 first finals. Let's let them do it. Whatever. Then I end up betting, thanks to El Capitan, I end up betting on Paul George 35. And then I bet on Paul George 30. And basically most of my bets were centered around Clippers players. I sprinkled in a little bit of he had like Jay Crowder rebounds, whatever. Sprinkled in a little bit of that. But it was just crazy because I said I want the Suns and I bet on the Clippers. And Paul George has 11 points at half. And I'm like, the first time I fucking tail El Capitan, I'm going to lose. And he was like, and I remember what he said. He was like, people, they'll buy into me. And then, you know what I mean? He's like, the people will buy into me. And then I'll have a bad night and they'll miss and they'll be like, I just wasted all my fucking money, whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, 11 points at half. What the hell? And this was one of his main card plays. Because I asked him, I'm like, how do I do this? Because you put out like your risky plays and you put out your main cards. He's like, always take the main card. So the main card, one of the picks was Paul George for 30 points. Well, we're at half and he still needs fucking 19 more. Dude comes out 20 points in like 8 minutes. Easy. We're at 31. And he also had 40, but I didn't really like look into that. And I'm like, I got his ass at 35 too. Bang, 35 goes. 40 goes, he gets 41. The dude had 41 and a half too. And he gets 41. I mean, so moral of the story is, I said I want the Suns and I bet on the Clippers. And it's kind of cool seeing these guys fight. Again, no Kawhi Leonard. So this is best case scenario for not only PG-13 fans, but Clippers as a whole. I mean, seeing a guy that can carry like this, and a lot of people are giving a lot of credit to Ty Lue, and I think you should, but he's got guys on there that are running the floor, and they're aggressive, and they're downhill players, and that's exactly how PG-13, I love saying it, was carrying himself in that game. Seriously,
does this make you think though, like, because think about this for a second, bro. PG was a top 3 MVP candidate in OKC with Russ when Russ kind of took a backseat to PG and let PG work. PG went to LA with Kawhi, took a backseat to Kawhi, and that's when you see all people kind of pandemic P and all this. And
Well, I'm with the Pacers
and
too.
then here we go. Hear me out. You see Kawhi get hurt, and then PG's doing this now.
Yeah, because he's got to be the number one guy. But we saw him as the number one guy.
Number one guy in Indiana.
Right, we saw him as the number one guy, and it wasn't
Does this? And I hate being that guy. I hate being that guy when you see 2 stars and you're just like, does this not work? But
No.
honestly, does this not work?
No, but see, and that's a great point to bring up. But what I want to say to that is we saw him as a.
And this is not me coming at PG. I'm coming at the Kawhi and PG.
No, it's
coexisting.
right.
Can it not
So
work?
do you think but you're saying he still needs to work with someone else? Because we saw what he did as a one-man show.
You can't. And it's fucked up. But you're not gonna be able to win it all. You're not gonna be able to win it all that way in this landscape of the NBA. So it's like, fuck.
I think he just needs the right partner.
Is Kawhi not the right partner? That's what I'm at. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
Damn time.
Who's Batman and who's Robin?
It doesn't. And that's the thing. There's no clear cut. Like I feel like you need that clear cut description. Actually, no, you don't, because the Warriors.
No, that can change though, in my opinion. Because if you're telling me like right now, if we take Giannis's injury right now, we throw that out the window. We say it never happened. I think Middleton is Batman. Giannis is Robin right now. I think that dynamic can change. It's just all about.
No, I think I have to agree with you.
Like
I will say this:
Giannis is easily the best player on that team, but right now, again, injury
I
aside,
think the Clippers.
it's Chris with a K.
I think the Clippers.
It's Chris with a K.
It's crazy because this shit really, like, Rome doesn't get built in a day, man. Like the Clippers, we first seen this team get put together, and we're thinking they're winning the next 2-3. You know what I mean? And it's just like now you finally see it starting to finally come together. Maybe.
So what if I said this? So he's not. So Kawhi. So, okay, so be it. And I did say this. It was it was maybe 2 weeks ago. I did say if Kawhi and the Clippers go down here, does he move on? And that's what we had a small conversation on that. But what I was going to say is if he's not the guy, right? If and so he's not the guy for Paul George, is it Dame time?
No.
No.
Could they not mesh well? Do you not see that though? Now that's probably not realistic. But
actually, yeah, I'm about to say I don't think it's just.
it's probably not realistic. But like I feel like that would mesh like bread and butter.
My thing is,
You're saying PG to Portland
No. I'm just saying
or Dame's to wherever PG.
Dame follows PG, but it's probably not realistic. But I'm just saying in terms of
what could happen here off the ACL injury. I'm seeing Kawhi comes back, sees what Paul George is doing, takes a back seat to Paul George offensively, and then goes back to being defensive player of the year. Kawhi adding in his little 25, 7, 10.
Yeah.
But he's such a star offensively that you just can't take that away from him. But I'm just saying, as when they first came to LA, you seen PG took a backseat to Kawhi and they were not being successful. Do you see Kawhi coming back and taking a backseat to PG, saying this is working?
Well, see, that's actually a good question.
You couldn't say they were one game away from being the Nuggets. I mean, there's a lot of arguments you can make that they could coexist and be just fine how they were. I'm just saying, does this raise an argument or something?
But here's the thing, though. I just think you can't. You got to treat this as almost like the Sixers, but not at the same time. You can't just. I know everybody is ready to blow up the Sixers.
Are a whole fucking.
No, they're gonna blow it up. They're gonna blow it up. Right.
You can't compare.
No, but I'm saying
you can't compare goddamn.
This is what
Shanghai
I'm saying,
team
though.
To the Sixers. You can't.
What I'm saying is, they've been in it for a good little while.
Okay.
So maybe it's time to think about not a bomb, but something along those. Let's sell and receive. Right. I think for the Clippers, it just hasn't been long enough to the point where you can say, all right, let's just ditch what we got.
Right.
I think you just gotta. I'm not trying to use. Yeah, I think you literally just have to trust it. That's it.
Ride it out.
You just have to see. It's too early.
I think
you gotta see it through.
That's it. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Got to see it through, my boy. You got to see it through.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think they have Reggie, Terrence Mann's coming along. He's a nice little young player. I think Zubac is coming along more and more years he has in the league. They got something there. I just think maybe
they did that without him too. Remember that, right? Like They won that game without him as well.
Exactly.
So I mean, they got something if they're able to be, and they were in Phoenix. So
These playoffs, man. You don't really know what's gonna happen. I can't even.
I've been saying there's been way too many injuries, and that's got to be some sort of fucking record. It was just like 2 or 3. It was 2 years ago when the Yankees got all these injuries, and I was saying to myself, dude, that's got to be a record. And that's what they did. They set an MLB record. Most injuries in a single season, still made it all the way. Not all the way, but you know what I mean? So it's the same instance here. Shut up. I see you laughing over there. But it's just that it's the same instance here where I'm like seeing everybody, drop like flies, and I'm like, and that's a terrible thing to say, and I'm like,
what's happening?
Right. And I'm like, it's got to be there's got to be a stat on there where there's some record where it's like, dude, these guys in the NBA playoffs have gone down, and it's just changed the culture and the atmosphere of what these teams have to do. You saw Giannis was beat the hell up.
Bro,
he was struggling to walk through the tunnel. He had hands on his knees.
Giannis was beat up in the Nets series.
Yeah,
it was Game 6 or Game 7. I think it was Game 7. He came out for a 4-minute break. That was the first. Budenholzer said that was the first time Giannis has ever done that. He tapped his head and said, "I have to come out." He's been done for a while, bro, and it's like
I also think
goes back to what LeBron said.
Right, and we have to give. I think we gotta give some credit here to Nate McMillan. He easily could have. He easily could have said last night, not Trey, you're gonna play, or Trey maybe talk himself into it a little bit. So then Trey's like, you know what? This is a game we gotta win. Let's even up the series. We'll go back to Milwaukee. This is what we're gonna do. But executive decision. Let's sit him out. Let's see what the rest of the guys can do. And Jesus Christ, they killed him.
Kill it.
Bojan.
Nice. Sweet lemon pepper Lou Will.
What? 21 points.
That.
First playoff start, 21 points.
He's been that.
Yeah.
He's been that.
8 assists.
He's been that. From the Knicks series. From the Knicks series, you can attest because I've watched it happen.
Put his ass back on the Clippers, bro.
He would come in if the game was tied or the Hawks were down like 5 or 6, he would come in and literally go on like a 5-0, 7-0 run by himself, have like 8 points, 2 assists, and just come right out real quick. Like he's been that.
Walking bucket.
Put that on your plate. Lou Will, Clippers, they'd be fine.
That's kind of where they had him.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
They can't.
He's doing that shit with them. What would they have to worry about now? I bet you they're sitting there scratching their heads. Damn it, dude. We could have used his ass now because look who's not on the floor.
Bro, the Clippers, I don't know.
So we got
I don't know.
We will be probably talking about the NBA. We might be talking about the NBA Finals next week as well. Maybe a wrap up on the Stanley Cup Finals. And we have some people to contact about what we want to do for the NBA Finals. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to do it for what we're doing today. Guys, it's just crazy the amount of love and support that we're getting. I got to say it every time. It's crazy. I know I close episodes like this every time, but seriously, this is our time of reflection to you guys. We're talking about what we want to talk about and everything, and hopefully you guys are enjoying what we're saying. But it's almost like a reflection for us. 1,300 views is crazy.
Sheesh.
Like we had doubled and tripled our view counts in like
a measly
3 or 4 hours. And then we get up to 1,300 and we're like, holy shit. There was 46 of you guys watching the live premiere.
Bro, they were in the chat chilling.
And I came in. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" It's just crazy. It's crazy. So we appreciate everything that you guys are doing. If you guys want to follow us on the Instagram, hit us up at ADED Pod. We posted some of the TikToks on there, some clips as well. We're doing really cool with the reel, so we like doing those as well. And if you want to DM us on there, you can. You can also do that on the Twitter as well, which is at ADED Podcast. Again, we're getting love on there from some people as well, just from how that episode turned out. And you guys don't feel hesitant to reach out to us on any of those platforms. If you just want to talk to us, ask us a couple questions. We had, like I said last week, we had a guy that asked us like how we started this. Feel free. We're gonna answer you, so don't feel shy about doing that. I know, like I said, it sounds like I'm saying that because we have 100,000 followers, but I'm being serious. We have just over 300 on Twitter and 260 something on Instagram. But seriously, if you guys want to know, like, what did El Capitan say? Like, anybody can do this. So, what's stopping you, really? So, if you want to just know how we're doing it, then just feel free to hit us up. We're doing some wonders on the TikTok. we're actually doing another TikTok after this one. You just got to follow the trends. And unfortunately, we're not getting the views that we want on there, but you just got to, it's trial and error. It's continue to post. And, you can somehow, some way you can make a living on this app. So we're just trying to get some money from that as well. Post some cool content for you on that as well. You can do the Facebook as well. I just switched the cover photo on that. I didn't know. That was pissing me off. Manny's got a sick header that he did for us on the Twitter. You can go check that out. That was from a show. I think that was the first time we had these lights, these little, what do you call them? Accent lights behind us. And we were just hype when the beat dropped in the intro. So it's a cool picture of us. It looks a lot more professional. We got to do that for the YouTube. We got to figure that out as well. But I don't know, man. There's so many things that we have just churning and burning in our heads and in our, in our stockpiles. That SpongeBob episode when he's in the head and he's got the file cabinets and he's going through the file cabinets in your brain. That's literally what we're doing. We got so much shit going on, but we're figuring it out. We're just trying to figure out the best way to do it. Trying to land the biggest amount of people that we can get, the followings, the this, the that. So there's so much that we just have, piled away, stored in the back pocket that we're ready to, to bring out in these next couple of weeks. So just keep riding with us, stick around with us. It's just a ride. We're I don't want to sound cocky and say, it's our world, just come and live in it. But because I don't want to say it's our world, you're living in it. But it's This is like you said last week, this is just as it is ours, as it is yours. So we appreciate everybody tuning in and listening to us. I mean, Man and I were talking into the car today, and I don't know if you want me saying this, but we were I'm going to say it anyway. We were we're going to make it. And it's
oh, yeah.
And it's it's that drive. And when even somebody that you're working with, that you're close to is saying
fucking nervous, bro.
No. Even with someone that you're working with who's somebody that's been with you since day one, like Manny has to me, when you hear that and you've been working with them and you hear we're gonna make it, it's inspiring, and it's it gives you that drive and that motivation to just do it every single day and continue to grow. So I don't know, this past episode has just fired us the fuck up. I mean, it really has, and I feel completely comfortable with just saying that sometimes you have to have that strong but not so gullible bias. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think for us, it's just that's what's fueling the fire.
Fuck
so
it, we can do it. Fuck
in a good way.
Fuck it, we can do it. Literally, it's all I'm talking about. Fuck it, we can do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, we can do it. You want to get that? Yeah, we can do it. Just keep going, man.
Yeah, keep going, keep riding. We appreciate you guys. Stay great. Be great because you fucking are. Let's go, baby. Point at the cameras, baby. You've been listening to the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs.
Till next time, baby.
But you can call me All Day AJ.
Don't get too hammered for the 4th of July. Yeah.